Hello there, Sagittarius. Thanks for stopping in and checking out this April general reading for your sign of Sagittarius. Everybody knows Sagittarius doesn't need a tarot reading. They already know what's going to happen. I'm just kidding, guys. I really do appreciate all the original and new subscribers for views, likes. We have Flipper. We have Page of Pentacles up, Sagittarius. So what are the message from the Page of Pentacles? Maybe to put yourself out there or to see what's in front of you. That's usually a common message from that page when she's all by herself there, showing up. Okay, anyways, I just wanted to say and extend that thank you to the subscribers and those who have viewed and liked. It's taken this little YouTube channel and turned it into a mediocre YouTube channel that is getting queued up a lot more now. So hopefully these messages are reaching a lot more people. Yeah, so Sagittarius, this one's for you. We're asking, what are the hidden messages for Sagittarius, April 2017? Tarot, what does Sagittarius need to know? April 2017. Okay, Sagittarius, my favorite part of the reading has arrived, where I get to say, I hope that you are all in a good place, good spirits, abundance, and comfort at the present moment. I'm just going to set my intention of hoping that and wishing that for all you guys. I ask you to set your intention here now as we're going to look at the overall energy at the bottom of the deck. Queen of Cups. Oh my goodness, Queen of Cups. What are you doing there, Sagittarius? I have a feeling like you guys have been a little bit blessed with this Queen of Cups overall energy. This is guiding energy. This is intuitive psychic energy when Queen of Cups shows up. If this is a person, if you're in love with someone with a lot of water or water in their charts, it's showing that this month of the early spring could be a very harmonious time for bonding and for emotional, I want to say, reconciliation and good tidings all in all. The Queen of Cups energy as well for you is a boost of confidence, a long overdue boost of confidence, I think, for some of you Sagittarius. Especially those of you that are making huge leaps and strides in terms of your own personal health, your own personal progression. The Queen of Cups, I believe, is now here to say that the universe is going to pitch in its share and you're going to be rewarded sort of intuitively by, kind of having a one-up or some sort of inspiration or moments of revelation here through April. So let's leave Queen of Cups over there and relate back to her as we go through the reading. Start out, as always, in the root chakra, and here we have Page of Swords. Okay, so we have another page here. So there could be some messages coming for a lot of Sagittarians this month. These messages could be across the board. They could be messages regarding finances and investment, I feel. They could also be messages of news regarding grown adult children progressing through life, or maybe being in a situation where they're going to require some help, or they may be assisting you. Don't be afraid to reach out and touch base with older children and siblings. Like, this is family members who, due to following their own path, have become distant over time. Page of Swords, if we're looking at Page of Swords as a person, this is somebody that's doing a lot of gossiping, especially as reversed here. So in the day-to-day life, you could find that somebody's really kind of trying to entice you to maybe want to get the dirty on information that you might have, or might have some 411 that is 3 times removed that they want to get your take or your opinion on. And this is just sort of like the chatty Cathy energy, and someone like, just be careful of who you're telling any kind of secrets or any kind of feelings to throughout April, Sagittarius. Somebody might not have your best interest in mind when it comes to like things that you've told them, or things that they want to tell you with kind of this suspicion that they might tell somebody else and then I could blame them or something. Kind of got to watch out for Page of Swords when she's there reversed, because messages could come forward and come through, but when it's upside down, it's usually got overtones of gossip. It may be like, the story's been passed around so many times that it's not so much true anymore, kind of thing. All right, so messages coming, and watch out for gossip. That's what we got there. It's not really that much of a grounded energy, but I feel, Sagittarius, that you're all right in terms of grounding your energy when it comes to talking and speaking with other people. So yeah, and here we go. There could be, we're now seeing this in sacral energy in the creative center. Eight of Wands, it could signify that some grounding is going to be needed, because now we're looking at a couple cards that have like quick movement and nothing really being too firmly rooted in anything substantial, with Page of Swords and now Eight of Wands straight up. To me, Eight of Wands is like dreams ready to take flight. This is like cats ready to pounce. This is almost like split in terms of, you know, where to put energy, where to direct your time and efforts in Eight of Wands energy. For a lot of readers on a mundane level, this card can mean travel and communication. So when this comes to creativity, this may mean that you're wanting to maybe discuss things. Maybe you're waiting to get together with team members, or you're trying to organize people. I feel, Sagittarius, for some of you, that's a big thing, like getting people together, getting people organized for some sort of common goal. The Eight of Wands to me is almost kind of like the baseball team that's ready to come together, you know, like everybody's in their position, but everybody needs to have a common goal kind of thing. As well, with Eight of Wands, there could be some short trips here in regards to, not really, and they are short trips. A feeling I have is short trips, and this is like a lot of running of errands, a lot of tying up of loose ends that might be taking you from like one end of the city to another, or from, you know, the town next door to the countryside over there. But it's stuff like you're back within a day or two. Okay, that's what I got for Eight of Swords there, Sagittarius. Okay, solar plexus, Empress reverse. Boom. She's been showing up for everybody reverse. 180 upside down. So the Venus retrograde going to be hitting you guys a little bit harder in terms of your decision making. The Empress reverse, she's just coming through now. This is Venus retrograde energy. This is speaking primarily to the first 2 weeks of April. This is saying be careful still through the late end of the Venus retrogrades with commitments, decision making, purchases, the things that you're wanting to manifest. Make sure that that's wholesome, that it's what you want, and again, make sure to take the time to remember that sometimes small decisions you make have larger variant outcomes down the road, sort of thing. So the Empress here in solar plexus is almost kind of like wanting me to say, like, be careful what you wish for, Sagittarius. But you guys, seems like you're protected in this. This energy is protected because if you're getting in touch with your body to make good decisions that what's right for you, and as long as you're intuitively aware of stuff going on around you, you should be fine. Just be careful of overconfident nature leading to larger decisions that are being made without the proper amount of time spent deliberating possible outcomes. This is like frontal lobe thinking, which shouldn't be taking in the frontal lobe. This is stuff that should be reflected on, and the decision being made down there in the lower Tao and like in the gut. So when it comes to willpower, I got the feeling that a lot of you guys are going to be doing quite well with your willpower. If you're trying to stick to a diet, if you're trying to kick an addiction, if you're trying to, you know, appease the people around you or gain favor with people around you, you guys will be quite successful in that. But again, the Empress is just saying, just step lightly again. The Venus retrograde seems to like be a little bit not harsh. What is the word I'm looking for? It's kind of like you need to be very careful in the last couple weeks of this retrograde, just to make sure that the intentions and what's manifested as a result of the intentions is going to come out the way that you had previously envisioned it. And this all comes down to decision making. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that, because this card has been showing up, you guys, for everybody. So you're going to find people you're dealing with through April. A lot of them are going to be going through the same things as you are, but just kind of on different levels or in different avenues in your life. So if you find yourself like at conflict with somebody or over some situation, just be mindful that everybody's going through this tail end of the Venus retrograde, and you know, anything that can be put off till the last 2 weeks of the month probably should be. Okay, Heart of Hearts, we've got Knight of Wands. Wow, you're surrounded by people here, Sagittarius, in this reading. Now, this could be reflective of you. This could be some of you really getting in touch with what your heart wants and letting your heart guide you. Some of you need to be instructed to be doing that a little bit more often. The feeling here is that maybe matters of the heart, or maybe matters of what you're kind of like longing for someone, especially like the single Sagittarians out there. I see them really like putting their foot forward in terms of like wanting to communicate, trying to communicate through social media, through Facebooks, and then through those different avenues here, where maybe is like picking up the phone and calling someone, rather than texting or mediaing, is not a word, but it is probably going to be better if you actually make like substantial verbal contact, if you want to really get some things off your chest, if you want to, express your heart, express your desires. Why would we spend time busting our thumbs when there's can be no emotion that is conveyed through text message? No emotion can be conveyed through a Facebook message. And it's even tough on the telephone, because non-verbal body language still is, even to you millennials out there that don't even really understand what that is or appreciative of it, is 90% of communication is body language, nonverbal. What's in the eyes, what's in the shoulders, what's in the cheekbones. You can really get a real good, clear, intuitive vision of what somebody is thinking or feeling behind the words. Whereas if you're reading that in a text, the same words could mean like 50 different things, right? And that can really affect the heart too, okay? So that's what we got there in Knight of Wands reverse. We'll move up one step. We got 5 of Wands energy up here. So this speaks to exactly, I was like, almost feel like I jumped ahead to this card in this reading in terms of talking about that communication and some conflict that could be arising through misunderstanding, through speech, listening, or like we said, through this text messaging, right? So if you're going to be using social media or texting to try and communicate your messages here, make sure that you're very clear. Make sure, because if you're not getting a response, or if you're not getting the response that you desired, it might just mean that somebody is misunderstood, or that you are misunderstanding somebody because no emotion has been conveyed with said communications. Like, you can't send an attachment on an email to show, unless you want to take a picture of yourself while you were sending the email and attach that. Like, even then, it's like it gets lost because it's not there. Those words are not happening, they're happening in 2 separate moments. They're happening when you're writing them, and then they're happening again when somebody else is reading them, right? Whereas in conversation, the speaking and the listening, it happens at the exact same time, right? Nothing is lost in translation. Nothing, the emotion is there. It's behind it. So this is a strong message, I think, from these pages for you, Sagittarius. When I had 2 pages, swords, and then pentacles jumped out, it's always a message. There's like a archetyping message that comes with the reading. And we've got wands here. We've got wands, more wands in terms of communications. And this could be, and with the intuitive energy we got going on over here, some of you might be having to decipher, explaining to a lover that, if you're having like mini arguments, or if you're having like little conversations over text, and it leads to like confusion or disagreement, just have that talk with that person, right? Okay. Now, third eye, pineal gland. Ace of Swords reverse. What the heck? Be true to yourself, Sagittarius. Don't fool yourself. If you guys think that you know where somebody's coming from before you've even heard them out, please stop it. Please just remember to keep it in check. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. To see this card reverse on pineal gland, almost like some of you Sagittarians need a spank. It's like there are intuitive, spiritual, sensitive people out there that are really doing their best from their state of consciousness to understand you, to want to be with you, to want to love you. And sometimes the feeling is that you might already have, and it's not like, I don't want to say you're conceited or arrogant or anything like that, because you're not, Sagittarius. You're just very passionate, you're very driven, and you're very solid in your foundation of what you know to be truth, right? But just remember that our truths are relative. So what is true for you, for somebody in their own particular path, it may not be true for them, or even as of yet. So be very mindful here. If we've got situations where, it comes to these communications, and you're dealing with people in face-to-face communications, someone that might be a bit more sensitive for you, or someone that might just be on a different path from you, they may not be relating, and you may be taking for granted that they're just relating to you when they're not. That's the message I have. I'm sorry, Sagittarius, I don't want to sound like your dad, but This card is kind of an ugly one to see like this up in this pineal gland area. If this was like this, I'd be like, oh my goodness, there is like a revelation coming through spirit, right? The fact that it's like this is almost like the feeling I have is that this chakra is blocked, right? Because the crown should be one above the pineal area chakra, but this is like this. So this is telling me that there's a blockage for many Sagittarians in third eye pineal. So whatever you can do through meditation, fasting, breathing exercise, sex, whatever it might be, to get this chakra spinning, to get this energy opened up so that you're allowed to see past sometimes your own presence. Sometimes you'll be able to see past a situation clearer into what it's worth. And as well, it might open up, like some Sagittarians are very spiritually awake. They're on this path of ascension, but with every little step, it's like you kind of got to keep yourself in check to make sure that, okay, we've taken this step, but now it's like, no, you're not awake. You might not be fully awake yet. You might just be, a little bit more aware of your awakening process, right? Whereas you're like, oh, wow, I'm awake now because I didn't realize that before. But it's like it's all a process. It's like when you wake up and you turn on the light for the first time in the morning, or if you have to wake up to pee in the middle of the night, you turn the light on. It takes a long time for those eyes to really adjust, to get used to that amount of light that's coming in. And this is, when I say this is a metaphor for information that's coming in from spirit, could be very strong for you, Sagittarius. So with this Ace of Swords being up here, just be very careful to slow and steady wins the race, okay? Spent a lot of time on that one, but that one, I'm not a big fan of that one, to see that reversed up there, because for a lot of readers on a mundane level, this card means myth's truth. For me, it can be meaning like a point of no return, and to see it in the third eye, it just means like if we're trying to communicate from spirit and be authentic, we just have to really like almost calm down. Like my energy got really excited and fired up, so I had to remind myself to calm down. Oh my goodness. In from crown chakra, Six of Swords reversed. So how fitting is this of what we've been talking about, right? We're trying to get things hashed out. We're trying to get things worked out. We're trying to get our life into smoother waters. We're trying to get understandings happening for us. But it's a struggle. It's a bit of a struggle. And the feeling I have is that you might just almost be on a different page than somebody else, somebody that you care about, right? Could be an air sign, could be a water sign, could be anybody, right? The person, that you connect with. There might have been some, falling it out or different times going on with this. But Six of Swords is a very prevalent, it's a very fitting energy, I think, to have in your crown chakra, considering that for a lot of you, I feel like third eye chakra is blocked. So what Source wants to let you know is that until we can see the bigger picture, and until we can see that other people are merely a reflection of us, we are one universal consciousness, like we are all one, but yet we're the individual, right? It's a fine balance. If you're taking in these readings to help yourself become a little bit more spiritual, right, then these messages will definitely apply to you. If you're into these readings just to improve your life and to take a gamble on, to get, a strategic step ahead on the month ahead, then this card is more of a warning. This card is more saying, like, you're not going to be able to do that because, if you want to get ahead, pick up the shovel and dig your own ditch, because that's the only way that's going to go forward. But if you want to do the inner work, if you want to look within, then we can maybe look at like relating to others and treating others, as we treat ourselves. Not saying that you don't do that, and this isn't going to resonate for all Sagittarians. And, like I said at the start of the reading, a lot of Sagittarians don't even think they need like anything, right? Because honestly, you can get 4 million Capricorns watching a tarot reading, and then there's like 7 Sagittarians that watch it, right? It's that kind of ratio. It just speaks to those of you that align yourself or identify with your Hellenistic zodiac sign, right? So for those of you that do, that's the message with Six of Swords. I'm going to ask for a quick clarifier on that Six of Swords. I think it's prevalent. I think just about any reading you're going to check into for this month or for this spring, Sagittarius, I think you're going to be seeing this Six of Swords a lot. I think Source wants you to like come into a better place. You've had a rough go, and now it's like kind of like as soon as you get break or as soon as you get figured out, you leap forward, but then you get stumped again, right? And then it's tougher to get that oh, there's the jumper here. All right, and yes, exactly what we've talked about here, right? We've got this lady on the carousel horse. She's scantily clad, and she's hopping the. It's almost like fantasy, right? It's almost like I know what I know, and it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. I'm riding cloud nine until cloud nine pours down like rain, which inevitably it does. So this lady on this horse is maybe high 1 minute, but if you ever been on one of those carousels, the horse goes up, then it goes down, then it goes up, then it goes down, and it goes around and around, and eventually you're back where you started, right? So the message is exactly what this clarifier is clarifying, exactly what I just said. We got to make sure we're taking these baby steps. If we want to move forward, if we want to be linear, if we want to always be on the up and up, we have to check in with ourselves with each new message and with each new sign that we're receiving, Sagittarius, okay? So that's there. We're just going to check in with Enchanted Map Oracle here. I'm sorry, I need some more compassion for those of you that are dealing with some heavier duty stuff here. And, you're just like, well, this guy just kind of came out and lectured me, blah, blah, blah. Well, you know what? I just want to say, like, with Venus retrograde happening, it's like we're going to have to be still and be mindful of the people around us so that, things aren't getting too out of hand for the first couple weeks. Look at this card you guys pulled. This is card number 33, Peaks of Joy. I've never seen this card yet for all the signs I've read for with this deck. We're just going to check the book and see what the message here is behind this. So we can see, like, this person is just up in the clouds, like, really in a state of bliss. So, Peaks of Joy, number 33. Your life is filled with happiness, so share it with others, end quote. Joy is yours today, no matter what your inquiry is. You will be happy with the results. You're coming closer to a sense of achievement, and you've worked hard for it. You're surrounded by the true companions and events that are synchronistically arranged to bring you to the next level of your life. The world is singing a beautiful harmony. Life is exhilarating and hopeful. Let gratitude fill your heart, and remember to share your happiness. Joy is contagious. Okay, well, that's perfect. So maybe I was just warning most of you to, like, not let this kind of stuff, like, if you're truly in a place of happiness, let's just make sure that we're being grateful. It's not going to our head, because it's true. We've got Queen of Cups here blessing you in overall energy with good intuition, and, like, this could be a good, loving partnership bringing you a lot of bliss. And yes, when this carousel is up, when this thing is going around and around, this is a lot of fun. This is bliss coming into your life. So let's make sure if we're on what comes up and we want to keep it up on the up and up, I think that's where we're headed for this reading, is let's just be very mindful and grateful as these things are happening. And then we are going to be experiencing these peaks of joy, so to speak, or this beautiful magical carousel ride, or this beautiful loving emotional sharing energy longer and without hiccup, okay? Sagittarius, I hope that made sense for you. It didn't be like daddy lecture, or, your old science professor that, so be careful all the time. If you're feeling these peaks of joy and you have this bliss in your life, I'm really happy for you, Sagittarius. So I hope that made sense. Know that I love you all, and we'll see you next time.